Leaving aside the question, is morality objective? You seem to think that you can intelligently make the case that morality is objective without defining morality. I just find that sort of fascinating as a way of making an argument. The closest you come to defining morality is claiming that human beings should be treated with dignity, but then you leave that undefined as well. Then later on you say that you want to hear from fascists and left revolutionaries who think that they are beyond good and evil. Now, I suppose there might be a minuscule number of fascists left who think that they're beyond good and evil, but I'm quite certain that there are none in the latter category, that is, in the category of left revolutionaries. Otherwise, left revolutionaries wouldn't be attempting to advance humanity to a better, that is, and as they say, a more just position. People who believe that they're beyond good and evil don't tend to be concerned about bringing humanity to a situation which is good, more just. Now, the problem that exists for some left revolutionaries isn't, as you seem to suggest, that they fail to be moral innatists. Actually, the problem with some of them is that they are insufficiently moral innatist in orientation, although they are nonetheless moral innatists. And also, of course, the big problem for many of them is that they compromise their own moral systems in the name of some imagined eventual greater good. But what's more interesting to me is that you don't throw down this moral gauntlet, this moral test, to libertarian capitalists, or shall we say, if not true libertarian capitalists, at least libertarianish capitalists. There, you could ask innumerable situational questions. Like, for example, don't you capitalists act as though you are beyond good and evil when you enter the markets of foreign developing nations and overwhelm the comparatively poor, significantly poor domestic entrepreneurs by charging ridiculously low prices just so that you can drive them out of business? And then, once you've done that, raise your prices on that market so you can capture it to yourself? Or if that question is a bit too complex, you don't ask this one of the capitalists. Don't you capitalists act as though you are beyond good and evil when you enter into struggling nations and set up your factories and employ child labor, working these children 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and pay them subsistence wages just so that you can keep them, these children, dependent on you? It's fascinating that these questions don't interest you. It makes me think that your morality is really quite relative after all. If you get my meaning.